Imagine the attack isn't explosions. It's this. No one can sleep. Not less sleep. Not bad sleep. Zero. You close your eyes. Your brain refuses to shut down. And it happens to everyone, every country, every city, tonight. If you think you'd push through, you don't understand what sleep is. Sleep is not comfort. Sleep is a biological reset button. And without it, society doesn't slowly decline. It falls off a cliff. Before we start, if you like expert-style breakdowns of extreme scenarios, hit like and subscribe because we're turning this into a series. Now let's do it logically, hour by hour. What fails first? What fails next? And when does it become unrecoverable? We need clear assumptions. 1. This is not a disease. It's an external effect, a sleep suppression field. 2. You can still rest physically, but your brain won't enter true sleep stages. 3. It affects everyone equally. And 4. It lasts at least several days. Why does that matter? Because if it's only one night, society limps. If it's 3 nights, society breaks. If it's a week, you get a civilization-level emergency. Now, what does sleep loss actually do? It doesn't just make you tired, it destroys attention, reaction time, judgment, emotional control, immune function, and it scales fast. That's the key. This scenario is lethal because it compounds. You don't lose 10% per day, you lose function exponentially. Hour 1 to 12, most people underestimate it. They think, I pulled all-nighters before. But this is different. An all-nighter is voluntary. This is forced, global, and indefinite. In the first 12 hours, life looks normal, until it doesn't. You get irritability, microlapses, minor mistakes. Drivers miss signals. Workers lose focus. Doctors double-check more. Markets jitter. And the first serious issue begins. People start self-medicating. Alcohol, pills, random sedatives. That creates the first wave of casualties. Overdoses. Dangerous mixes. Accidents. Not because aliens attacked physically, because humans tried to hack biology fast. So the first danger is not no sleep. It's desperation. At 24 hours awake, performance drops hard. Reaction time becomes unreliable. This is where normal systems start bleeding. Transportation. Accidents rise. Factories, errors rise. Hospitals, risk rises. And here's a brutal truth. Modern society is a chain of tiny correct decisions. Sleep loss breaks that chain everywhere at once. So even if nobody dies from exhaustion, people die from mistakes. Industrial accidents, medical errors, fires from forgotten stoves. And then the psychological layer hits. Anxiety. The moment people realize sleep is not coming, panic becomes contagious. That panic causes crowd behavior, runs on supplies, misinformation spirals. So by the end of day 1, the crisis is not medical, it's logistical. 2 days awake? This is where the brain starts glitching. Microsleeps happen even when you can't sleep. Your brain shuts off for seconds. You don't notice. Until you're driving, operating equipment, holding a baby, and hallucinations begin. Not always full visions, sometimes sounds, shadows, paranoia, which means policing gets unstable, military discipline gets shaky, air traffic control becomes dangerous. Now add the worst factor. Everyone is in the same condition. There is no fresh shift to replace you. So system redundancy collapses. That's why 48 hours is a tipping point. You can run a city with tired people. You can't run a city with hallucinating people. At 72 hours, the human brain changes. Mood regulation collapses. Aggression increases. Impulse control drops. And this is where civilization loses something invisible. Trust. People stop believing instructions. They believe rumors. They start blaming governments, outsiders, neighbors. Violence spikes not because people are evil, because they're neurologically unstable. And here's the scariest part. Sleep isn't just individual health. Sleep is social stability. It's why humans don't go feral in 3 days. So if aliens wanted to disable a species without firing a shot, this is a perfect weapon, because it turns society against itself. Now we hit the hard systems. Power grids require constant precision. Water treatment requires constant monitoring. Food supply requires logistics. Hospitals require functioning staff. By day 4, staffing becomes impossible. You can't rotate in rested teams, so systems degrade, blackouts, water contamination risk, supply chain stops, emergency services slow. And once power becomes unreliable, everything accelerates. No refrigeration, no fuel pumps, no communication. Now you're not in a modern crisis. You're in a pre-modern crisis with modern population density. That's the lethal combination. So what's the counterplan? Not heroism. Coordination. The only realistic survival path is to reduce cognitive load. That means ground the planes, halt non-essential industry, limit driving, simplify decision-making. You move society into minimal operating mode, and you prioritize water, power, medical, food distribution, security. You also centralize messaging, because misinformation will kill faster than exhaustion. And here's the uncomfortable idea. If sleep cannot happen naturally, you need controlled sedation. But that requires medical supervision, dosage control, respiratory monitoring. Otherwise, sedation becomes the second disaster. So the plan is not everyone take pills. The plan is structured, monitored, critical worker rotation with medical support. It's ugly, but it's survivable if acted on early. Now zoom out. Why is no sleep such a perfect attack? Because ITBA doesn't destroy infrastructure directly, doesn't create obvious blast evidence, and doesn't unify people against a visible enemy. Instead, it makes everyone unreliable, makes every job dangerous, and makes society consume itself. It's an attack on cognition, and cognition is the real engine of civilization. So the scariest conclusion is, you don't need to defeat humanity militarily. You just need to turn off the brain's reset. That's why this scenario is so terrifying. It's plausible as a strategy, even if the tech is fictional. So how fast would society collapse? In hours, mistakes rise. In 24 hours, systems bleed. In 48, hallucinations and microsleeps. In 72, social stability fractures. By day 4 to 5, critical infrastructure fails. That's the timeline. Not because humans are weak, because civilization is built on rested minds making tiny correct decisions constantly. If you like this expert breakdown, hit like and subscribe for the next extreme scenario. Now your turn. If you had to keep one system running during a no-sleep crisis, which do you prioritize first? Power, water, hospitals, food? Drop your answer in the comments.